We're born ready.
So what we're going to do is practice. I'm going to show you the 5 cuts of spindle turning. And what that means is almost everything you do on the outside of a piece of wood where the grain runs parallel to the bed, that's called a spindle. Almost everything you do gets done with just 5 cuts. Okay? The first cut is called the planing cut. And so what you're doing is you're just making a straight, flat surface. And what I do is I touch my tool on the metal, I move it forward until it hits the wood, but it can't cut yet because the edge isn't touching, only this back part. Right here, the heel. Okay, I touch it, I point it the direction I'm going to move, I bring the handle up, go the other direction, touch the metal, touch the wood, point the direction I'm going, bring the handle up. Do it again. Touch the wood, touch the metal, bring the handle up, push the tool forward. A little faster, metal, wood, point, up. Now, something that may not be completely clear is what part of the tool actually does the cutting. And the answer is, when you turn your tool sideways, you notice there's a top side and a bottom side. And it's always the bottom side that cuts. So look real close at what's actually touching the wood, where the shavings come off. See, it's near the front, but it's slightly on the bottom. There's a tendency for people to want to do this. See what part it's coming off now? Coming off that left side, the top side? That is scary. That's how you get catches. What you want to do is let the bottom side of the tool do the cutting. You always point the tool the direction you're going. I'm going to my left, right? So I point the tool to the left. It's the back hand that does the pushing. The front hand, you ready? The front hand only holds down on the tool. The back hand that does the pushing. Okay, we're about there. One more cut.
So what cuts that? What's the cut? What's the name of the cutting thing?
Planing.
It's a planing cut.
Right. Okay, so the next cut is called a V cut. I'm going to cut across the grain. And it's also a straight cut. There's no slant or curve to it. The cut proceeds according to where the bevel points. If I want to cut straight across, let's do it this way. If I want to cut straight across, there's the bevel. I just cut across the end. That's a cut you have to learn to make. Let's try a different one. This is regular. You never cut. See, I'm cutting the left side, right? Cut a little bit off each time. You never cut the right. If you want to cut the right-hand side, look what you do. Flip the tool around, and you cut it.
So what's the name of that cut? What? V-cut, right?
Okay, now here's what it is. There's a positive V cut, and in between here is a negative V cut. It's negative space, empty. So there's a negative V cut, there's a positive V cut. Okay, the next cut is called a cove. And it's the first time that I'm going to move the tool handle sideways. But it starts out exactly the same as the V cut. See the handle go sideways? Here's the other direction. I don't go up the other side, you see? I go down to the middle, and I'm done. I don't cut up this other side. You cut the other side by moving to it. And what's happening is my tool stays on top of the wood. I'll do it one more time, and I want to talk about exactly what's happening. I'm starting with the tool on its side. I'm pointing the bevel at the direction it's going to start cutting, and it's mostly straight across, not quite. And I use that V-cut start, and once I've got something behind the bevel, I'm going to push it forward, and I'm also going to turn it on its side, or turn it on the bottom. It's like this. See how my tool stays on top? I don't do this. You ready? Here's the bad thing. You see how my tool isn't on top of the wood? Maybe you can't see it, but it's not on top of the wood. It's below the wood. My handle's way up in the air. So what I want to do is stay on top. That's on. A lot of people don't like to move the handle sideways, but you gotta learn it. Okay, fourth cut. It's called a bead, which is the exact opposite of this one. The bead starts just like the planing cut. Remember the planing cut is where you make things flat and smooth? Well, that's the way this one starts. You ready? Do it again. See the part of the tool that cuts? It's that bottom side, just near the front. As it goes around the circle, it goes around the circle because the handle comes out. The tool also goes on its side. You see how the tool's on its side now? Starts out flat. Handle comes around, tool starts going on its side. Now, something that's important, the tool goes on its side not to create the surface. It goes on its side so it doesn't have a catch. The thing that makes that circle is this motion. Okay, go the other direction. No hurry, as long as you're on the bevel. What's this cut? Remember, that's this cut. The oblique cut, the bead cut. Okay? The very, very top of a bead is flat. Just like this is, it's flat. And if you start too fast, you start like this, that's what the top of your bead will look like. It'll have a sharp angle on it. So, you start flat, raise the handle a little bit, real slow. Start seeing a little bit of stuff coming out of the front of the tool. You can push it forward. Okay, let's do it one more time. The planing cut. You're just creating a flat surface. You start with a ride on the bevel. The bevel is riding. How close can you see this? I want you to watch the very, very tip. You ready? See, it's not cutting. It's not cutting at all. I'm bringing my handle up. You see it? Just a tiny little bit happening there on the front. That's when you start pushing forward. With the other direction, can you still see? Okay, the next cut is the V cut. It's also straight. There's no wiggling, right? But it starts by cutting across the grain. Each cut, I take off a really small slice. And I don't push when I get to the bottom. I don't push real hard. I just take my time, real careful. If I want it to go deeper, I come over here to the other side. And that makes it a little wider and a little deeper. Take little bitty slices off. 1/16 of an inch is more than enough. Third cut is the Cove. I'm going to do it down here. Can you see? Yes. Okay, I'm going to do a Cove. I'm starting it on its side, just like the V cut. I don't go up the other side. It's scary to go up the other side. If I want to cut the other side, I move over to it. Okay, next to the last, we're going to do one more after this. The next one is the bead. Starts out flat, just like a planing cut. Remember this one, the planing cut? Well, here it is. And then I say, hey, let's make something fancy. The tool has to swing sideways. It just has to. A lot of people don't like it. Can you see the little line right there in the middle? That's because I didn't start with the tool flat enough. See, I don't have to cut very much. Look at this. I just cut a little bit if I want. It's all mine. I get to decide what I want to do. Okay, last cut. I saved this one for last because it's not very exciting. These are parting tools. Okay? And what I'm going to do is put my parting tool on top of the wood and then real slowly let it come back as I raise the handle. And this is called a peeling cut. When I make tenons to fit those boxes that come together, you have to make a tenon. If you want to make a chair leg or a table leg, it has a tenon on it. This is how you make them. This is the same tool, only it's a little bigger. And so I'm just peeling the wood off, right? How much time we got?
Minutes.
5 minutes?
10 minutes.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I gotta say, maybe we're done. But what I will do,
You can't be done until they can all name the 5 cuts.
they can all, name the 5 cuts.
Who can name the 5 cuts? Is this a class with the short-term memory problem?
That would be probably all of my classes. And you'll forget things.
So, we need one of the 5 cuts, plane, bead, cove, bead.
Why don't we do it this way? I'm making something here. Why don't you tell me what cuts I'm using? I don't hear anybody.
Well, this may be the title of the vision problem. What's he making?
So this is a table leg, huh?
Yes.
What do you have to do after this? You have to make 3 more just like it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of ugly looking.
So one of the 5 cuts.
What are the 5 cuts? Pop quiz.
Come on.
Plane cove.
Bead.
Bead.
Plane. Cove. Bead. Part.